Hi, today I'd like to demonstrate to you two different approaches for debugging your 42 smart blocks if they are written in JavaScript. And it often happens that you write your code, but it doesn't actually do what you thought it should do, or it somehow is not working. Or it also could be that maybe you're looking at the Roam42 source code and you find a function and you don't quite know what the return value of that function is or how you should use it. Like this is how I was with the get block info by UID function. It provides me a result, but it took me some time to work out how to use that result. So the approach I'm going to show you works in these situations. What you need is you need to put this function or this line on the clipboard. I'll also include this in the video description. And then you need to go to the menu in the top right, and you need to select more tools, and you need to select developer tools. This will bring up the developer tools within your browser. By the way, this is a Chromium browser. This is an Edge Chromium browser. The developer tools looks exactly the same in Chrome and in Opera, and it will be quite similar in other browsers as well. So when you're in the developer tools, you need to select sources up here. You have other tabs as well, so if you want to look at the CSS and understand how the styling goes, this is where you find the style details under elements. But now we're focusing on sources, and at the top of the page here I click on the top. So this is all the different source codes that are imported as part of the Roam application. And if at the top I right click, I can choose search in files, and here within the search box down here I'm going to paste the function that I've placed on the clipboard. So there are two places where this code comes up. They are both in the SmartBlocks commons.js file. And if I click on this, it comes up, so you can see they are quite close to each other. I'm going to place a breakpoint to both of these places. Placing the breakpoint, you simply click on the line number, and then a breakpoint is created. So this is the other line where I want the breakpoint. In case of the asynchronous function, instead of the await, I want to break at the point when the new asynchronous function is created. So what are these two lines? What Roam42 does is it takes the text of your block, and it creates a new function with that text, and then it executes that function. The first line here is for your normal JavaScript or synchronous JavaScript, and the second is for the asynchronous JavaScript. By the way, here I'm using the JA block, so this is going to be the asynchronous block where I stop. So once I've done this, I can go back to my page where I want to test this function. I come down to my test block, and what this function does, it's a fairly simple function, but complex enough to have potential problems in it, and complex enough for testing. This takes the UID from the block, and then it uses this get block info by UID function and gets the block information on it. The block information will contain all the child blocks, and then my get children function is a recursive function within which I stitch together into a single string all of the text that's under here. So what I'll see as a result is I'm going to see my test block 1 and then 1.1, etc. But for now, let's run this block. So I press JJXX. This is my debug demo. I click on this and immediately the browser takes me to this breakpoint. At this breakpoint, I need to step into the function, the next function call. So I can press F11, or I can just simply press this button. So I'm going to press this button. And so now I'm in the within this function, and you can see this function is exactly the same function as I had here in my SmartBlock. So I'm going to put a breakpoint, say on row 19 within my SmartBlock, and if I now press resume script, the script is going to run until this next breakpoint is reached. And at this point, I have lots of opportunities or lots of things I can do. So I can simply move my pointer, and if I move my pointer, it will give me the value of the various variables that are in here, and I can go in and navigate the variables. So for example, on results, I see that this is an array, and in this case, the array has a single element, and that element of the array is actually a dictionary object. And within the dictionary object, I have a dictionary item called children. You can also see how you can address that element. And then I can see that this dictionary children element has two entries, and I see the UID value here, so I can understand how this works. If I want to play with this, I can also open up the watch and I can type in an expression that I want to test. So say I'm interested in the results, and then I'm interested in children, and then I'm interested in the I think this was I needed the how did the children look like? Let me just take a look again. So it was 0, 0 children, and again I need to have here I go back and I want to edit my watch if I would not have so fat fingers, and so I want the first element of that array, and I'd like to read the UID. And so I can experiment with the variable and I can actually see what's going on. So this is super helpful, because when you're stuck in your code and you don't know how to work with it, then you can actually come in here and do a debug. So I'll now let this run, and by letting this run, you can see here's the output. So the other strategy I'm going to show you is, and for now I'm going to take out the breakpoints from here, is another simple strategy. You can always write to the console log in the code. So if I want to understand the variable in the or the value of the UID variable, then I can type in console log brackets UID, and if I run my SmartBlock now, then I can come here and let me just run my SmartBlock. I can run my SmartBlock, and if I go over again to the developer tools, and down here I click on console log, then you can see that my block, my UID was printed here. And so anytime within your code you write console log, then that is going to be printed on the console, and this is another excellent way to add small debug information into your code. So I hope you found this quick demo helpful, and good luck with your smart blocks. Thank you.